Good evening. This is Ronnie G again. Now, I'm not LG. I'm Ronnie G, an American citizen taxpayer that's concerned about the country, just like everybody should be. See, if you can't demonstrate God's power, why are you trying to demonstrate God then? If you really believe in God's power, then you should be demonstrating God's power, right? See, what God's power does is it gives you the power to overcome the devil, to overcome lies. See, people ain't going to start believing in you and start trusting in you until you show yourself to be a leader and strong and courageous and able to stand up against your adversary. See, stand up against your adversary don't mean that you're the bad guy. See, God's light is supposed to illuminate darkness, right? So you may trip over something in the dark, but if the light on, you should be able to see the object that's in the front of you, and you should be able to maneuver yourself around the object that's put in front of you. I'm challenging MAGA tonight because I'm going to demonstrate something. I'm going to demonstrate hypocrites and liars and backstabbers and false preachers and false deacons and false mothers, people that's still on the motherboard shouldn't have no business sitting on the motherboard or sitting on the deacon board or singing in the choir or standing up in the pulpit preaching. We know everybody make mistakes, yeah. But these people that doing these things, they ain't making no mistake. They doing exactly what they want to do. I got one right here on the screen right now. I might show you how people going around talking about they Christians and they follow Christ, when in reality they false. They just following after the devil, but they want you to think that they love God and they Christ-like. Remember what the Bible says. In order for a thing to be confirmed, that means that if someone says something about you, and once you get enough proof for 2 or 3 witnesses, the Bible says, so that thing is confirmed. So if somebody told me that Jim Jordan killed somebody, I wouldn't just believe it. I would need more proof than that. So another guy come along and tell me that Jim Jordan killed somebody. Yeah, that's 2 witnesses. Then another guy come along and tell me Jim Jordan killed somebody. In God's rules and God's regulation, that thing is confirmed. 2 or 3 witnesses is enough to confirm something. Jim Jordan is a murderer. I don't know the reason why he did it, but I know he just murdered somebody because 3 eyewitnesses just came and told me that. So I have to make a decision. I'm standing there now, and I see Jim Jordan walking down the road with a gun in his hand. And 3 people just told me that Jim Jordan just killed somebody. So I'm in the front of my house and I see Jim Jordan coming down the road. Am I going to stand there? No. I'm going to go in my house and I'm going to close my door and I'm going to get my gun. If Jim Jordan comes up trying to get in my house, I'm going to kill him. I don't care what the consequences is. All I know is that I have to make a decision, and I have to make a decision for myself. I'm not thinking about the consequences. The only thing that I'm thinking about is 3 people just came by me and told me that they saw it with their own eye that Jim Jordan just killed somebody. And then I see Jim Jordan walking down the street. I'm going to the house, lock my door, and get my gun. If Jim Jordan comes trying to get in my house, I'm going to put him away. Everybody would do the same thing. Because if you don't do that, that means that you don't know the law. See, the reason that I went in the house, because if I can get out of Jim Jordan's way and out of Jim Jordan's path, that's my first option, is to get out of the way. So I go in my house and I lock my door and get my gun. That's preparation. That I'm going to prepare because I know Jim Jordan is a possible murderer, so I got to prepare just in case Jim Jordan try to get in my house. And then when I blow Jim Jordan away, I want to get on the phone and I call 911. And I might say, Jim Jordan came in. 3 people told me that Jim Jordan just killed somebody. And Jim Jordan came down the street with a gun in his hand. I went in my house and got my gun and I locked my door. And then Jim Jordan come up trying to get in my house, so I blew him away. See, that's the way the system works. See, that's the way the Constitution works. See, everybody here have the exact same rights. So if I see Jim Jordan with a gun, I gotta arm myself. I'm not gonna be a fool and let Jim Jordan come down there and blow my brains out without me trying to save myself first. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I did that. Because I know Jim Jordan ain't no good. Right? When Jim Jordan was a wrestling coach at Ohio State, the coach, Sandusky, was molesting children, and Jim Jordan saw it. And Jim Jordan know that Sandusky was molesting children. But Jim Jordan didn't say nothing and didn't do nothing about it. See, being a pedophile don't mean that you actually have the sex. Some people just like watching people have sex with kids. Some people like to look at video old men having sex with kids. And because Sandusky didn't say nothing and let Sandusky molested children for years. And because he did that, he got a reward. He got elected to the House of Representatives, where he now sits on the committee. He the same man that knew Epstein and Trump was pedophiles. You got to remember, when you sitting on the House of Representatives and you sitting on these committees, ain't nothing that you can't see. Because you the lawmaker. So Jim Jordan know that Epstein and Maxwell and Trump, he knew about the pedophile, all the things that's sitting on Pam Bondi desk. See, all those Republicans in the House and the Senate and the Supreme Court, they know what's in those files. They are the one that try to make sure the file is not coming out. You remember when Donald Trump, how Jim Jordan was talking about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris with a deep state and weaponized the Justice Department? Not only Donald Trump weaponized it, he weaponized the CIA. He weaponized DOJ. He weaponized the Attorney General, the FBI, the Supreme Court, Homeland Security. Let me demonstrate to you how these racist MAGA people are. And all they do is just make up lie after lie after lie. Just think about this. The Bible, our court system. You remember the O.J. Simpson trial? I'm going to tell you what it was that got O.J. Simpson off. It was Mark Fuhrman. Mark Fuhrman was a racist. But he went through all his career for all them years telling people he wasn't a racist, but he was a racist all the time. Because he knew that if the people knew that he was a racist, he would get fired. So he covered it up. This is how O.J. got. I knew the minute this happened, I knew O.J. Simpson was going to walk. Listen to what the judge tell the jury when they come in. He tell them if anybody get up on the witness stand and they get caught in a lie, he said, you don't have to believe nothing they say no more. If someone is a witness and get caught in a lie, you don't, the jury, the judge tell them you can disregard anything they said. See, that's what makes the Constitution works. That's what makes the law work. Because justice is blind. See, justice don't care if you're a male or female. Justice don't care if you're black or white. Or you rich or poor. See, justice is blind. Justice is going to make a decision based up on the law. And when anyone break the law, and you knew, and you know for sure that they lying. So, long as I'm for sure of what I'm saying about Jim Jordan, ain't nothing nobody can do. YouTube can't sanction me because I'm calling him a liar. I got freedom of speech, but I got more than that. See, I have the same rights as Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan get paid by me and you because he get paid taxpayer money. Everyone that pay taxes is Jim Jordan boss. But I'm going to show you what a hypocrite is because he ain't going to be able to sue me because everything I'm saying is true. It's a matter of record. So when that jury hear the facts, I'm going to walk. See, that's what you do when you know you got Christ in your life. People are going to bring charges on you, but God say, I got some people on that jury too. I got some people out of that 12. If you don't get acquitted, you'll get a hung jury. Because out of that 12, all I need is one. And I know God got somebody up there, because God say he always got a ram in the bush. So remember, Sandusky, Jim Jordan, when he was at Ohio State, he watched 13-year-olds get molested in the gym. He was a wrestler coach. He lied about Obama. He lied about Michelle Obama. He lied about Barack Obama. He lied about Joe Biden. All lies. Is Barack Obama ever been charged with anything? Is Joe Biden ever been charged with anything? Is Kamala Harris ever been charged? No. Because they haven't done anything against the law. But these hypocrites like Jim Jordan and see somebody molesting a 13-year-old boy and won't say nothing about it and won't report it. That's a bad man. You elevate him to the House of Representatives, and then you put him on a committee where he's writing laws that we have to live by. You put the devil in the House of Representatives, and you put the devil on a committee. But the Bible said, don't worry about that devil. That devil, he can't defeat Christ. He can't defeat righteousness. He can't defeat justice. If he no good, he just no good. I'm going to tell you something that you know for a fact. If you know anything about the legal system, you know this to be a fact. If you get a subpoena from the government to come and testify, and you don't show up, they're going to put out a warrant for your arrest, like they did with Steve Bannon. A lot of people went to jail under Trump for refusing to answer a subpoena. Jim Jordan is sitting up here on the committee in the United States House, sitting on a very important committee. And he's in violation of the law. Don't you tell black and brown people nothing. See, when God called me, he want me to tell the truth. He want me to be instant in season and out of season. Everybody know that the Constitution meant the same thing to every human being. You don't even have to be an American citizen. You can be on American soil, and you entitled to due process. When people try to take away your due process, when they don't have no more rights than you, that means they violating your rights. And anyone that violates your right, you don't know what they'll do to you. Who do you think you are that you think that you can throw me out the country? Or you can deny me this aid, but you can give it to certain people? You can pick and choose who you want to build up and who you want to tear down. That's a dangerous situation. And the American people just sitting back, just letting it happen to them like it ain't nothing. I'm talking about black and brown people. They acting like it ain't nothing. But every day they losing their rights. They losing their freedom. And then Jim Jordan them is just laughing in your face. You know, if you under investigation and you are not answering a subpoena, you should be in jail. I would be in jail. You too. But look how long Jim Jordan has been not answering a subpoena. 1,343 days since Jim Jordan was served a subpoena to come and testify. And Jim Jordan refused to testify on Trump's behalf. So now I know, I've been know, but now I know now that Jim Jordan is a liar and he's a fake and he's a fraud. Jim Jordan is in violation of the Constitution of the United States of America, and then he had that trying to take my freedom and your freedom. There is no way a liar that make laws and won't even answer the laws that they write because they think that they are above the law. He may be above the law with the law, but he's not above the law with me. God tell me I need 12 jurors to convict Jim Jordan. He never told me that Jim Jordan had to be arrested to confirm that he ain't no good. He told me all I need to believe that the thing that they said about Jim Jordan to be true, all I need is 2 or 3 eyewitnesses. And that thing is confirmed. So now, whenever I see Jim Jordan, I'm going to try to cross over to the other side. Because I know Jim Jordan ain't no good. I know Jim Jordan a lie. I know Jim Jordan will bring false charges against me. So I know when I'm around Jim Jordan, I'm always ready for him to try to do something. I'm keeping my eye on it, and I'm keeping my hands on my pistol when I'm around Jim Jordan. I wouldn't let my daughter or my son go around Jim Jordan because Jim Jordan, I let them get molested and he won't say nothing about it. I know all this about Jim Jordan. I know Jim Jordan is a liar and he a cover-up artist. I ain't going to go after Jim Jordan and try to hurt Jim Jordan. But if Jim Jordan come at me in any kind of way where I got to make a decision about my safety or put Jim Jordan down. Those are the things that the Bible teaches us to do. See, the Bible don't want you to go after nobody, even if they doing evil. The Bible don't want you to go after them. As long as they going that way and you going that way and he staying out of your way, that's fine. But every time I pass Jim Jordan, I'm going to have my hand on my pistol. Because I know he's a devil. I know that he's a demon. I know that he's untrustworthy. If I see him around a young girl or a young boy underage, I try to get them away from him. I try to get them to go on and get from around him. But long as he minding his own business and staying out of my way, I'm staying out of his way. But I ain't gonna let him be around young girls and young boys. because I know who he is. I know he covered up for Epstein and Maxwell and Trump. He know everything in those files. He got the highest security clearance. He can look at all them files. You know he know. That's why he's covered them up. Because he know what's in there. Because he want to protect Trump. And he want to protect the MAGA party. See, I'm not going to lose my freedom to someone that protect pedophiles. For someone that lie and cover up. Me living is more important. That's why the Bible said that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. That means that there's a law that backs up everything I say. What Jim Jordan going to do? Everything I said is the truth. It's a matter of public record about Ohio State. That's how I know. Because I saw it on the news when it happened, when Sandusky got arrested. Sandusky is still sitting in prison. And Jim Jordan saw it all. And didn't say nothing. See, you got to learn when you start following God. God will let you use every tool in the toolbox. No matter what it is, and in order to defend your family and defend your safety. Jesus is right there by your side. If the people had took care of Jim Jordan back when Sandusky was molesting them boys, he would have never rose up to be in the House of Representatives writing laws for everybody else. And he wouldn't have been able to sit on these powerful committees to help Donald Trump overthrow the Constitution. Jim Jordan don't believe in the Constitution. He don't believe in God. And he don't follow Christ. He's a liar. 1,343 days after he was served a subpoena, beyond a shadow of a doubt that the laws that Jim Jordan helped to write and to put into law, he don't believe in none of them. He think that he is above the law. But the Constitution tells us in America we can't have a king and we can't have a dictator. See, Jim Jordan and the Dominions and the House and the Senate and the Supreme Court, they trying to make Trump a king or a dictator. We don't have to let that happen. The Bible says if you got a tyrannical government, he said, what you need to do is form a legal militia to protect your churches, to protect your community. You're not going after Jim Jordan. You just not going to let ICE come in your community and abuse your women, throwing them all on the ground. 3 and 4 men laying on top of them on the ground. Total disrespect. You don't let nobody come in your community and abuse your people, mothers and daughters and sisters and brothers. You don't let nobody abuse your sister or your mother like that. That is total disrespect. That's when you stand up. That's when you say, it ain't going to happen here. Take that stuff from here. That kind of stuff don't go in our community. See, that's what standing up for God is. Jim Jordan have no credibility. Just by him, this guy submits subpoenas to people. But he won't even obey a subpoena himself. The Bible says you don't have to follow him and you don't have to listen to him. Thank you.